Alright guys, today I got this metal roof here. It seems like this year is metal roof season. I've washed, I think this would be the third one this year, and they're all red. So, the age-old question is, can you downstream a roof? And yes, you can. Not shingles. If you got asphalt shingles, don't even waste your time. Or your chemical, or your water. But if you're doing a tin roof all day long, you can downstream it. Now, be prepared if you, yeah, be prepared if when you do it, downstream it doesn't work. Be able to be prepared for that, to do it like a normal one. But if you're downstreaming, try it. I know this is going to work for that for sure. Hoses pulled out. I'm going to be doing a roof wash here, downstreaming, and just going to have you guys come along and see what it looks like. So I know you don't see me right now, but I'm on the other end. You probably hear the machine running. Just going to wet some stuff down. There's a couple cars out here I don't want to get in the way of. Even though it's a roof, I'm just going to rinse the whole building down today while I'm here. I'd rather do that, know that it's all took care of. This gutter line, I'm going to hit it. It's pretty green. But want to kind of coat these vehicles over here so they ain't nothing gets on them. Wet them before and after. Especially if they've been sitting out in the sun like this, just baking. You don't want anything on them. Just a precaution. And then we'll change our Jrod to a soap tip and get to soaping. I got 15% bleach. I cut it 50-50 and I run it through my downstream injector. I hope that I don't have to get on the ladder with this one. I mean, if I got to get on the ladder, I do, but no big deal. The main thing with this wash is I was going to get to the wash and then they were going to have the asphalt done. And the day that I was going to do what I was going to do was the day that the asphalt guys thought that they were coming. And so they just went ahead and stayed on their schedule, and I just went ahead and rescheduled mine. So got a little shed over here. So just as a precaution on this one today, I went ahead and bagged the gutters. Just so, like I said, just to be on the safe side of things. I mean, I'm just spraying house wash mix. It's not that strong. But when you're using these, when you're using the Jrod, you can get a pretty good distance. But we've got quite a bit of wind. Main thing is I don't want to discolor all of it and have to, pay them to have it redone because too much. But it's a metal roof. You're going to have runoff regardless. Like you're going to have runoff. But I did bag the gutters, just hoping that it would alleviate some. See, I got a section right over here that I gotta get to. Now, when I do the front side, maybe it won't be so bad. But I mean, I just got a ton of wind going against me today. It sucks. Which, if I was to get the ladder out, which I got it on the truck, but if I was to get the ladder out, it would help. But when I do the front, I'll be able to, when I do the front, I'll just be able probably to shoot over the peak, and it won't be that big of an issue. It's been running good this year. I don't want to jinx it, but it's been running good. I've had a lot of people, see my buffer tank videos and want to know which pump I use. And guys, I just got lucky because I was using a collapsible hose up until last year, and it was cavitating my pump because it was sucking the hose, dry. And I thought, hey, I wonder if I can pull water from that. And so I experimented with my IBC tote, and that worked out pretty good. So then I went and got a 55-gallon drum to see if it would do the same, and it did. So it worked out. I said it worked out pretty awesome. Got a little break in the wind, so I'm trying to hit that peak up there. Like I said, if I got to, I'd just shoot it from the other side. But, just like this, it's really nice because if I do got to go get the ladder, I don't have to worry about the machine over, pulling too hard, anything messing up with the machine. I don't have to worry about none of that. Go ahead and tell you now, all the walking around I'm doing back and forth. If I'd have just got the ladder off, it would have made this so much easier. So much easier. He cleaned his own gutters on the front. They were pretty rough the other day. So I'm just making sure I get his gutters really good. Probably kind of loud in the video. And I first came over here, this company has been in business in this area for 50 years, and they're doing a 50-year anniversary in May. This is the end of March right now. So they wanted to spruce things up, so they got the asphalt done, and they'd had this roof put on, and the roofer that put it on, me and him have a good relationship. So he referred me to them and came over and met them, and that worked out good. Referrals have been a big part of business this year. This is when you're doing one like this, if you're downstreaming it and your mix is a good mix, then I want to stop right here and just show a before and after of what this looks like. This is huge. To show you how, one, to see how quick this works, and two, to see why you would pay to have this done. You see this black right here, but then all of a sudden everything to the left here, look, that's huge. That's why you pay for a roof wash. Pretty lucky to be able to shoot it from the ground, and that's becoming accurate. I think this is the worst side, so it may end up taking a couple applications, but if it does, it does. You can kind of see the soap setting up on it now, because like I said, with the metal roof, you never know if you're going to end up getting it to where it is a hot mix that's going to get it, or if you're going to be able to downstream it. Of course, if you downstream it, it's going to save you on chemical. That's the plus. Plus, when you're downstreaming, there are just so many things you don't have to take into consideration as much as you would when you're putting that hot stuff on there. When you're using a hot mix, guys, you definitely have to consider your downspout, your runoff, the rest of the house, the spray, the wind. Last year, and it was metal all around, tons and tons of metal, and I had to rinse it just because it was so bad. It was out there in the middle of nowhere, It had a lot of growth on it. I think it was like 20 or 30 years old. So I had to, one, hit it with a hot mix, and I did try downstreaming it. That just didn't work. But I had to hit it with a hot mix, which wasn't so cool. And I got paid good for the job, don't get me wrong, but it was a lot of work. But on that one, I didn't have to rinse it. The main thing with that job is I had to rinse because I had to use a hot mix on it. If I'd have been able to downstream that job, the one I'm talking about, I wouldn't have worried with it. This one here, this is a second application now that I have on it. It looks great. This is just like I don't want to say a precautionary, maybe you say it's overkill. I know that it's clean, but I'm here. It's going to be a big deal for this company because they've been around. I mean, if you live in my county, you've heard of this little place before, had known somebody to work there, work there yourself, had something done there. So when they do their 50th anniversary, it's going to be a big deal. Probably a lot of people here. And so I want it to look as nice as it could be, which I'd do this if it was just little old Granny May. I want to make sure that it looks good. Loving the buffer tank setup that I have this year. It's been great. Being able to do like I did earlier, just set the gun down and go, and not have to worry about my pump overheating to get my ladder off or anything like that. I'm still in that mentality that I can't do that. Sometimes I feel like, oh no, I gotta hurry up, but then in reality I know that it's okay. Gets all the runoff, but that seems to be the last place to come clean. The very edge of this has like all the leftovers, I guess you could say. So in order to get that, you can take a shirt. If I had my brush with me, I'd just take my brush and brush it and it would be fine. But because I don't have either of those, I'm just going to go up there and knock it down with a little pressure, and then it'll be good to go.